So Boris, I wanted to know that when did your association with WACA begin and how did it start?
Well, it's a good question. I don't remember exactly, but time ago, maybe. Well, let me say, I have a note. Yeah, I think more or less 1 year ago. More or less 1 year ago it started, and I was approached by Vishy Anand, my good old friend, and he told me about this academy and suggested that I will join, and then on regular basis I will share my experience with all these wonderful students.
Right. So how has been your overall experience working with them? You have worked with them before, once at Chennai, in that
Yes,
camp,
in microsense
in
camp, yeah.
Microsense camp. But now this is different because that camp was for 10 days and it was like a continuous thing. But now this is over a longer period of time. And how has been the experience and how many roughly hours would you have already worked with these youngsters?
Let me tell you. Well, so far I don't think we had so many hours, maybe
Hmm.
30, 40 hours,
Okay.
something like this. But also because they're playing a lot, I'm very also playing a lot and quite busy, but we take each opportunity to work together. And it's really a big pleasure for me to see how nicely they progress. Okay, some players are progressing with incredible speed, like Gukesh, Prag, Arjun, but also Vaishali, but also other players we see like Michal, Raunak, Leon Mendonca, Aditya. We see that they have continuous progress.
Yeah.
We see it's very pleasure to see, but also a lot of girls taking part. And I'm really shocked that, positively shocked that, some positions they see much better than even all these famous players. Yeah,
Wow.
they sometimes able to calculate deep or to find some finesses which escape attention of all these top guys. But my goal, as I see, is to share my experience and to attract attention of these players to some aspects of the game which are then not familiar because they're young, they're mostly okay, they analyze openings, they calculate, and they play a lot, they get experience, but I see my goal to attract the attention, thinking process and thinking patterns which may make the improvement quicker.
Hmm. Yeah, because I also spoke with the other trainers of WACA, and it seems like every trainer has a specific role to play. Like for example, Gaevsky mainly works with the openings and so on. And I think that's how it is structured. Do you have like regular kind of discussions on how this is to be taken forward?
No. I have discussions with Vishy Anand, and we write to each other. And after when the guys are playing, we discuss how they're doing and who did well in this tournament and who is lacking what. And but when we met personally in July before our match in Leon, we also discussed it. And but it's continuous process. It's good to see that some guys improve quicker than I expected, but everyone is improving, and it's a very pleasant feeling, and it's continuous process. Yeah.
Are you surprised with how high already Arjun, Gukesh, mainly both of them have reached around 27, 30 already? So,
Yeah, but I don't. It's impressive, but I don't pay much attention to rating. Yeah, it's clear that the way they play is impressive,
hmm,
but let's say Prague's rating is lower, but I don't think he's improved also immensely. Okay, he maybe played more in rapid, yeah, when he is on a regular basis beating Magnus, yeah. So also, but okay, it's good to see that they're improving, yeah. But rating is just a number, yeah. It's like when you have when you're ill and your body has fever. Okay, if you can measure and say, oh, I have fever, so I'm ill. But basically, if you think, you understand that the problem is that you're ill and not you have a fever. Yeah, it's the same here. I don't need the rating list to see how quickly these guys improve.
right. Amazing. And Boris, in the past Soviet era, there used to be schools, training schools that used to exist. Like there was the famous Botvinnik school. There was also some other schools that were there at that time.
Yeah.
Do you see this as something similar, or do you see it completely different and unique in the world of chess? This program, which goes on continuously throughout the year.
I think it has similarity and it has a difference. And I think that there are different circumstances. Of course, Vladimir had privilege to learn from Botvinnik and Kasparov. And I had the privilege to learn from Petrosan, even in a very short period of time, because he passed away very quickly. And I had been, I think, 2.5 sessions, just 2.5 sessions with him. But still, it had big impact. And then we had the kind of breakthrough. Then I don't think it existed, yeah.
Mm.
But for a few reasons, I think one of the reasons maybe that this great generation, more or less like Petrosan or Tal or Botvinnik, passed away.
Right.
There were no generation in between who could do it in such a massive scale, and or no one was interested. And now we have both generation of people like Anand, Vladimir, or like myself, Peter Leko, who has more time to share our experience with the youngsters. I am playing actively, Vishy is playing actively, but we find time, and probably Peter and Vladimir play less, and so they have even more time. And also, I think what we experience now, it's a unique generation. I'm not sure that the generation for 5 years younger will have so much potential as this generation of Prague, Gukesh, Arjun, Rolnak, Michal, all this Leon, all these guys. And also when you have such a strong generation, they are both competing, so the motivation is high, but also they're learning from each other. They're playing training together, playing training games. Also, they give motivation to our players who are a bit weaker now, but when they see these guys, they learn from them, they study together. Also, they improve. When they study in a group, okay, if you have someone who is doing someone quickly, other ones are also catching up. So I think it's kind of unique opportunity in a way unique times now.
Now, you said that it's very difficult to replicate this kind of generation, which has like these 5, 6, or maybe
Yeah.
6 to 10
But also in
talents.
other countries, we have Norderbeck and we have Kamer, just to name a few,
Right.
who are already in very young age, okay, are extremely strong and approaching heights, yeah. Probably cross 27 or approaching, but doesn't matter the number, yeah.
Right.
It's a matter of one or two good tournaments already. Yeah,
So,
approaching gold elite. Yeah.
right. So when you work with these youngsters and now you have worked with them quite a bit, I would just like to ask you a couple of lines about each one of them. So if you had to say a few things about Arjun, what would that be?
I think that Arjun has a very good feeling of initiative, and I think from first time I saw him in Chennai, I spotted it. He is, I remember the guys were sitting and he was very soft spoken. Yeah, he didn't talk much. Other guys were much more active. But I remember when it was a dynamic position, he was calculating very precisely, and whatever he was saying was correct. Yeah, he didn't just was wrong moves. He was say showing the lines very clearly, and probably also just to return, probably this pandemic had an effect because players couldn't play for few years, and ones who were working more consistently and more cleverly had been able to make more progress, and now we see just the result of it and all these guys. But let's return to Arjun. I told what I think, yeah.
Yeah, and
Also very confident, yeah.
very confident, very soft spoken, but very confident. I very determined. Yeah, you don't see it from the outside, but he is very confident.
Yes.
Absolutely. And next, Gukesh.
Gukesh, it's also is very impressive. I think he is like also his good point is calculating very well, and he's extremely resilient in a difficult position. So many times I saw that he was worse, let's say, but the way he defended it was really impressive.
Amazing. And Pragnananda.
Yes, Prague, I think his main strength is very good feeling of dynamic. He very feels excellent how to bring coordinate pieces and how to get utmost of dynamic potential of pieces. Yeah, it's his initial talent, and he complements it by calculating well and playing very well in different types of positions.
And Nihal?
Nihal, I think his good biggest strength is technique. He is plays very solid, but he is. I saw many times how he was exploiting even minimal advantage to his benefit.
Right.
And precision, yeah.
And Raunak Sadhwani.
Yeah, Raunak is. I think he's maybe he's more solid and mature player. He probably in openings he is better than other, and he is has very big how to say. He plays excellently with natural moves. Yeah, he can make natural moves, a lot of moves confidently, and see incredible speed somehow to coordinate pieces and kind of a more positional talent. Big positional talent.
Right. And Leon?
Leon is much. I think he's quite balanced. He knows his openings and he plays solid positional, but also calculates well. He's more balanced.
And lastly, Vaishali. I think she's the only girl. I mean, there are many girls who come and attend sessions, but I think she's the main one who is in WACA, like the permanent student. So, what are your thoughts on her?
Yeah, she's great. She's also made a huge progress during last years, and She is balanced in all aspects, but I think endings and calculation, she is very good. What she is really good at.
Hmm.
I remember when I made a camp with a national team in
Yes.
Chennai in May.
Hmm.
I made a test on the rook end games, and she was one who was ahead of many players of men's team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she exploited exactly the same game. It was in this test. She won an important game in Olympia.
Yes, absolutely. And at the end of it, they all thanked you because they told that this is what they had learned from you,
Yeah.
the Rook End games. So that
No,
was
but
nice.
all of them has incredible work ethic, and also what's uh, extremely important for me, that also very nice personalities,
Mm.
very kind and very respectful uh, group of guys, but also it's very good combinations that they are very friendly and pleasant in life, but also big fighters over chessboard. That I believe how it have to be, because very often this is that people expand their ambitions over chessboard, yeah, and try to become very aggressive with their opponents also in the life, and I really don't like it.
Yeah. Right. So they are all on the board quite aggressive, but off the board they are all quite friendly with each other.
Yes, 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 and with each other, and with definitely with all of us, all the players. Yeah.
There's one question which I have to ask you because you have played at the highest level in chess. There's a question that sort of floats around saying that yes, these young talents have reached so high, and I know that you don't believe in numbers and ratings, but they haven't played many super tournaments. So, do you think that they would struggle against the best players in the world, like top 10 in the world, or do you think they are already they will be able to face them well?
It's a very good question, and I think that it's something in between. We see that okay, they're playing some top tournaments. Let's say Prague played in Vaikansei, and he played in this
Championship.
Meltwater Tour, and he's doing pretty well. And also Arjun is doing in Rapid pretty well. So I think, of course, they like this experience, and I hope they'll have more possibilities. So maybe even some more tournaments in India. So all of them may play and meet all top 10 players. But what I really believe is that they have much more potential, because what I see is that too many top 10 players are happy with their situation. Yeah,
Mm.
they don't. They're playing too much and too solid. Yeah, they don't attempt to improve their game, but they are happy with their situation. What they maybe I am wrong, but what they I feel that they just want to stay in the circuit and to mm, play non-stop and be invited to top events.
Mm.
But I believe this group of guys are hungry, they're improving quickly. So it's pretty likely that in 2 3 years I'll wipe out all these guys from most of the guys from top 10. At least those one who will not take care and will not try to go forward. Yeah. Because in many activities, if you want to if you're happy with where you are, okay, you cannot stay. Yeah, you'll be wiped out by young, hungry lions.
Fantastic. And lastly, I want to ask you, these youngsters have developed with many facets around them. Like you can see that each youngster has their own personal trainer, like for example, Ramesh for Pragnananda, Vishnu Prasanna for Gukesh, Srinath for Arjun. So, what would you say is the role of WACA in their chess careers, and what would you say has been the sort of the contribution that WACA makes to them, and do you think that plays a role in them moving up quickly, much faster than they could have?
Yes, yes. First of all, it's very important that they have permanent trainer with whom they have strong bond and who understand and support them. But also WACA, I think, provides them a possibility to see more things in life, to see more ways to progress, because they give experience to collaborate with strongest players and strongest trainers in the world, and it doesn't take them out from their trainers, but kind of complement it to see new possibilities what they can work on. Because maybe if you work with the same trainer, it's very good, it's important thing, but maybe this trainer has his own idea. I don't know their training methods, but maybe, let's say, someone is working too much on the opening, someone too much on calculation, and WACA gives possibility to see broader picture and to indicate more areas where they have to work on and where they can work with their trainers to improve this in these areas.
Fantastic. Well, Boris, thank you so much for your insights. And as always, thank you for supporting these youngsters and Indian chess. I think thanks to your a lot of inputs, they are all improving very quickly. And we really greatly appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to collaborate with this determined and talented kids or juniors, let's say juniors. And good luck to WACA, and hope we can collaborate for many years to come and witness even bigger success of these young players.
Thank you.
Thank you.